Hierdie podsending bevat gekruide taal. This podcast contains strong language.
Jou ma se
Welkom by nog 'n episode van Wat 'n vloekwoord, 'n podsending oor vloek, skel en ander taboes. Hierdie reeks word moontlik gemaak met die finansiële en tegniese ondersteuning van die Suid-Afrikaanse Akademie vir Wetenskap en Kuns, Bluetech Computers en watkyk.co.za. Ek is Elmarie Claassens en hierdie episode gesels ek met 'n bekende en geliefde akteur wat haar loopbaan begin het as 'n veldaanbieder in 'n kinderreeks. Vandag is sy bekend as iemand wat haar rolle met deernis speel. Sy is 'n vernuftige sakevrou en haar borrellag is aansteeklik. Cloete, dis baie lekker om jou hier te hê.
Hi.
En daar kom die borrel.
Soos jy dit sê, toe wil hy net kom.
Die suggestie het jou dadelik gevat.
Heeltemal.
So gee van jou geld, gee van jou kar.
Jy kan alles vat. Alles, vat alles.
Kim, jy het al die meeste tipe rolle gespeel op die TV, skerm en verhoog, maar die een wat vir my regtig uitstaan, is nie 'n rol wat jy gespeel het nie, jy was jouself. En dit was op die Van Coke show. Het jy gegil en na 'n stripper langs jou gestaan, jy het gesê, trek het uit.
Jo, word ek nou hier uitgevang, maar is die waarheid. Ja, en is min in my loopbaan waar ek eintlik die geleentheid kry om net myself te wees, you know. Rolle is maklik. Aanbieding is 'n bietjie moeiliker, want daar is 'n deel van jouself wat jy moet baie voor lief is, wat jy na die kamera toe bring.
Ja.
So wat 'n deel van jouself is dit? Jy moet hy uitvind. Dis 'n journey in syself. Maar om heeltemal net jouself te wees. En op daai Van Coke show, toe ek die audisie doen met François, toe ek het hom oortuig dat ek 5 kinders het.
Is jy ernstig?
And I left there and he said to me, "Yes, maar jy lyk amazing vir 'n ma van 5."
Dis baie stout.
Ja. En it was, I think we all just laughed and we were like, "Nee, chummy, this is the character you're gonna get if you book me for this gig." Nee, and I think ek dink dat was ook, ek dink baie van die kere, you know, especially nou so ouer soos ek word, daar's 'n gemak van wese. There's an okayness with self. And there's a deliciousness that comes with that.
Dit klink net lekker.
Ja, en mense waardeer dit. Want met dit kom 'n aanvaarding en 'n eerlikheid. And I think ultimately we all want that of ourselves and for ourselves. And if we can show people that, that's a gift in itself.
Dis baie mooi, jy praat van 'n groeiproses, jy praat van 'n sosiale self, 'n persoonlike self, die integrasie van al hierdie goed saam, en jy praat per implikasie dalk ook van taboes wat jy gehad het toe jy jonger was, wat nou nie meer taboe is nie, en andersom en so aan. En miskien kan ons later 'n bietjie daaraan raak meer, want dis my baie interessant. Maar ek wil net gou afskop en so taboewaardes vir jou vra.
Okay.
Van 3 woorde.
Okay.
So 1 is glad nie taboe nie en 9 is baie taboe. Ken jou 3 woorde is gatsitter, gooi nooi en hoerpoep.
Okay, well, firstly, gatsitter, gooi nooi en hoerpoep. Okay, gatsitter would be 9.
Baie taboe.
Very taboo.
Waarom?
Personally, because I don't believe anyone gets the opportunity to say who gets to do and be who they need to be here and now. So you don't get to tell someone else what their life should be about. So dis vir my taboe. Gooi nooi, wat beteken gooi nooi? Dit klink vir my soos 'n los. Gooi nooi.
Dis 'n prostituut.
'n Gooi nooi is 'n prostituut.
Ja.
Ek dink ander mense sou dit as moes taboe aanvaar. as a 9, probably as well. I don't, because I don't think prostitution is taboo in my eyes. I have my own opinions about that. Hoerpoep. Yes, see. Okay, so here's the deal, nee? Ek het in die Kaap groot geword. Poep, firstly, is nie 'n lelike woord vir ons nie. It was only when I came to Joburg en ek moes nou standaard Afrikaans leer, dat ek uitgevind het poep is nou nie 'n lekker woord nie. Ek kan nie meer poep sê nie. Hoer vir my is, ek dink, it will probably rank about 9, 10 as well. I personally hate the word. Because it is, maar dan gaan ons nou nie oor wat ek dink nie, maar gaan ons nou oor wat ander mense sal dink.
Maar gee beide.
Maar it is degrading for me, and not just to women, but to men as well. I personally do not have an issue with the business of prostitution. I don't have an issue with that. Slavery, sex slavery, different story. Not jy my in 'n ander kamer.
Ons gaan nou weer praat oor die sex slavery en daai goeters. Ek wil vir jou die betekenisse van al die 3 hierdie woorde gee. Want dan bring ek vir jou konteks by, want gatsitter verwys na 'n huisvrou. Ja, en nou kan jou taboe dalk nog styg. Dit gaan dalk bo 9, want as jy gesig so kyk, lyk dit vir my so.
Sure. You see, now that is 10 for me.
Ja.
That is 10. That's the worst for me.
Want dit is beledigend, dis wat ek by jou hoor.
That is, but all of them, gatsitter, gooi nooi, hoerpoep. I am not a feminist. I am a humanitarian. So when you degrade and degradate any human being, I'm going to have a problem with that. So hierdie terme vir my al klaar, just the connotation, just the attachment of the adverb to it is ugly. Gatsitter. So I was raised by a gatsitter, who is one of the most amazing women I know.
Absolutely.
So nou wil ek vir jou sê, whoever's saying that word, jou poes.
Maar hoe interessant is dit nou? Want jy gebruik die woord poes sonder om te dink daaroor.
Ja.
En dit is duidelik vir jou 'n taboe woord, is 'n vloek, maar is dit vir jou minder taboe as gatsitter en gooi nooi en dan hoerpoep wat verwys na vroulike deodorant.
100%. So here's the thing. So this is what I want to say. And I want to explain the word poes. And I think a lot of people misunderstand what the word poes is. Okay. So ek het op die Kaapse vlaktes groot geword. Ek het altyd gesê, the second word you learn after mama is poes. Okay. It is the biggest insult you can give to someone. I'll tell you why. And now it's the female sex, it's the vagina,
yeah.
Right? This is what it is. So now you're thinking, oh my God, she is contradicting herself here. No. When you say to someone, jou poes, die vroulike geslagsdeel, or the vagina, is the most sacred. It is the most sacred thing in our society. So when you say to someone, your poes, it is not degrading females. You are scratching in the most sacred part of another human being's ear. That is what's happening there. En wil jy dit nog erger maak, dan sê jy jou ma se poes. So this is not degrading women, and I think this is the thing that people don't understand about this word. It is because of how sacred it is that it is so insulting.
Ja.
En dit is omdat dit ook so sacred is dat dit so lekker is, because as I can say to you, your poes, I can also say, dit was poes lekker.
Presies. Jy sê vir my 'n baie interessante ding, en dit is dat jy die woord poes amper gelykstel aan boontoe roep. godsdienstige sacred cows wat mense gebruik en dan insulting raak daarmee, maar wat dat so gebruik. So dis nie degrading nie.
It's not. It's not. And I think this is the big misconception about this word. It's because it was taken out of context. It was taken out of its geography. And it was misconstrued. And it's not that. It is the worst insult you can offer someone because it's the most sacred thing you can talk about. Your mother's private spot. Die vroulike, the thing that creates life, the thing where life comes from. That is why.
Jy is ontsettend passionate oor vroueregte en so aan en ek wil baie graag later meer daaroor praat. Baie dankie hiervoor. Dit is 'n baie goeie verduideliking. Baie dankie.
I'm so glad I got to explain it. Because people think you're just vulgar. And you're like, no, I'm complimenting you.
Yeah.
It's poes mooi. It's such a beautiful word for me, you know. And because of cultural identity and cultural differentiations, we have now decided that this is not an okay word because people started using it as an insult. You know?
En eintlik is dit 'n beautiful woord.
Dis 'n baie mooi woord.
En konteks kan dit heeltemal verander. Jy kan dieselfde woord gebruik en dit met mooi koppel en dan is dit pragtig en jy kan iemand dan
Intention.
Ja.
Intention. You know? So, it is not a word that I would use around my elders because it's so powerful. Not because I feel it's disrespectful. Like I swear around my mom. I swear around my elders. I'll say fuck because these are adjectives. It's part of my lexicon. But not poes.
Kim, verwysend na jou leksikon, jou ma en jou elders, vertel vir my asseblief, het jy in 'n huis groot geword waar daar gevloek is?
Not really. So ons was 4 generasies in my huis.
Sure.
So the people who raised me were my great-grandparents. 1904 and 1905. They were born.
So dis kosbaar.
Very sacred. So no, we didn't swear. Swearing came at a very late stage for me. My mom would sometimes swear. My mom is very vocal. But it was... En ek dink ook omdat ons soveel generasies groot geword het, my ma was selfs nog 'n kind in die huis toe ek 'n kind was in die huis.
Korrek, want mens bly altyd jou ouers se kind, maak nie saak hoe oud jy is
Right?
nie,
Exactly. So there was huge respect and respect came with not swearing because swearing was just, it was not seen as being respectable.
So taboe.
It was taboo. I remember the one day my cousin, so my ma se niggie se kind het saam met my groot geword. She's like my older sister, 5 years older than I am. And she pissed me off the one day. Ma die moeren gemaak. I was very fiery as a child up to an age voordat ek stil begin word het. Maar ek kan nie onthou wat sy gedoen het nie, maar I lose my shit and I say to her, jou nei. Jessie, nou ek is nou oor 'n kruisverhoor nou. I get called in.
Groot moeilikheid.
Groot. Huge issues now. My mom and my dad call me in. What did you just say to Nikki? Did you just say what we thought you said? And I go, no. I said, yo, Naichi.
Wat beteken dit?
And it was so, and I remember this, I was maybe 8 or 9, but it was so hysterical. They actually, they burst out laughing Because I was telling them, I didn't say jou nei, I said jou nei, cheese.
Jy het vroeg geleer, sit 'n verkleintjie aan en dan is dit 'n
En dan sit mos nou mooi, nee? En
was slim.
Yeah, so I still got punished, but so swearing was not big in our house at all. Ek het vloek baie later. Ek het vloek eintlik eers, I would say varsity.
Okay, so jy het laat in jou lewe eintlik begin vloek dan.
Ek het laat met alles begin in my lewe. I was, believe it or not, I was a nerd. I was a bookworm. I was super academic. How my parents punished me was to take my books away. My oupa grootjie het my leer lees op die ouderdom van 4.
Sjoe, Kim.
So by the time I got to school, I was so far ahead of my peers. So my world was like wide open because of books. So we would go to the library. He was in his 70s already. He'd walk with me to the library once a week and we get book. By the time I was 8, I was reading his novels.
Sien, dis my baie interessant, want ek wil nou net vra, het hy jou toegelaat om boeke te lees wat jy nie soort van veronderstel was om te lees nie, wat jy te jonk was vir dit of so?
No. So it was always very age appropriate. Maar in standard in standard 4, I was introduced to Daniel Steele. Come on! And Jude Devereaux. Come on! Yes, it was love and sex and hot men, and I would be like, oh my God, what am I reading? And so that was the first time. And I remember I had a friend who lived across the road from us, and sy was in die Engelse klas, Tracy. En Tracy was a bietjie, I was always very shy en baie teruggetrokke. And like Tracy had boyfriends. And she read Daniel Steele.
Eksoties,
Ja,
né?
Moerse en Mills and Boone.
Wat jy also nie mag doen nie, né?
Exactly.
So dit was soort van jou taboes op daai ouderdom om daarvoor te gaan. Bietjie rooi hakskinkies te kry en seks te lees en
Yeah, absolutely. Because now you are also, you're discovering boys. And you are discovering how... Maar, okay, kan ek gou vir jou 'n storie vertel? Ek wil vir jou vertel. So now I'm in standard 4. Ek is klein. I was very small. So everything came late to me, even boobs.
late bloomer.
Late bloomer, like proper late bloomer. And standard 4, and there was this guy called Ashley Wagner. Nou ek by Narina Primary. Now I'm already in a box. Ek is nou die slim kind. But I definitely don't get boys. I'm not sexy. I'm not that child, right? Which is fine. Maar yes, hier kom hierdie ou. He comes from a different school. And, hy's vir my mooi. Hy's vir my verskriklik mooi. And I developed the biggest crush of my childhood then. En daar's hierdie ander meisiekind, Bronwyn Adams. And Bronwyn had, she was exotic for us because she had blonde hair and green eyes. Right? This was no fucking exoties.
Baie.
On the township, in the township. And she had boobs. But she was not as clever as I was because I topped her every year. So she didn't like me very much. Maar ek het niks moeilikheid met niemand gesoek nie. Ek was baie stil and I hated conflict. And one day, so it's now Valentine's Day and we have to make cards and I'm like, ek gaan vir Ashley 'n Valentine's Day card maak. En ek maak hom 'n Valentine's Day card and I send it with a friend's friend, hoping it won't come back to me. My weet toe is ek. I never got Valentine's Day cards. I was that child, even up to matriek. Like I was that girl. I was a nerd. En die een middag kom Ashley. I'm sitting at home. And I had a friend who had a boyfriend, Regan Regani was her name. And Regan had a boyfriend, so she always used to tell me about making out and vry and broekskote and fuck know what she was saying. And Ashley rocks up at my house. It's a Friday afternoon, it's 4 o'clock. My ma sê, Kim, is iemand buite vir jou? I'm like, what? Because now firstly, we're not allowed, boys are not allowed at our house. You can't even talk about a boyfriend at my house. En ek kom uit en daar's Ashley Wagner. Voor my hekkie.
Jy flou geword.
Huh?
Het jy flou geword?
I almost passed out. So dan staan ek daar en ek kyk vir my en hy sê, because all the girls had a crush on him at school, right? So why is he at my gate? Ek is dan ook kakboring, right?
Die stereotypiese slim kind.
Right? And he comes and hy sê vir my, but this is how innocent I was. Hy vra vir my, wil jy saam met my uitgaan? I don't know that he is proposing a relationship. Ek dink hy vra wil ek saam met hom uitgaan.
Dis by die deur uit.
Like uit by die hek,
Ja.
uit stap met hom. And I say to hom, ek sê vir hom, ek kan nie nou nie man, DuckTales is op.
Is dit 'n program? DuckTales.
Duck with Scrooge McDuck and his little nephews. It was my favorite show. It's a cartoon. And I said, ek kan nie nou nie man, DuckTales. The next day, Monday, I tell die gaan, Ashley was at my house and toe vra hy vir my, wil jy nie saam met my uitgaan nie? Ek sê, nee, ek kan nie nou nie, is 4 o'clock, DuckTales is op.
Ag, Kim.
And then she goes, he was asking you to be his girlfriend.
Dit klink so interessant, want in die een lewe was jy baie konservatief by die huis, streng grootgemaak klink dit vir my, en mag jy vloek nie, en dan is daar 'n eksotiese lewe aan die ander kant waar jy taboes gesien het, maar dit was vir jou moeilik om daar te gaan, want jy het nie geweet wat uitgaan beteken nie.
I didn't.
Vir 'n slim kind was dit nou nogal dom, nee.
Yeah. I think I was slow on the uptake where those things were concerned.
Bietjie naïef dalk.
Not naive, just innocent. But I also think that it was forced in a lot of ways for me, where I couldn't express. I wasn't allowed to express, you know.
Jy sug baie diep. Wil jy daaroor praat?
Yeah,
Uitwy?
yeah. So, as beautiful and as rich as my childhood was, on the one side, growing up with all these generations, I was also sexually molested from the age of 4 up until 19. So my wind was uit my seil uitgeruk
Ja.
when I realized that this is not normal and I could do nothing about this. And if I didn't comply, everyone would suffer. So ek het baie vinnig eintlik groot geword, moes,
Ja.
mos.
Met 'n verskriklike verantwoordelikheid op jou kop. En dit is so interessant van seksuele aanranding of molestering, dat dit normaal is totdat jy besef dis nie normaal nie.
Right?
Dat die grootste taboe ooit nie taboe is nie.
Ja.
En dan ewe skielik vind jy uit en die trauma begin amper dan meer. Was dit vir jou ook so?
Dit was, ja. And I think, ek dink die grootste ruk vir my was, I'm intuitive because of it. I can read people because of it. I am who I am because I had to learn to survive at a very young age.
Dit is baie jonk, net baie lank aangehou.
Baie jonk, and it was consistent for me. So my real heartbreak came when I spoke out the first time. That was my real heartbreak. and the people I entrusted with that information and their response. Because, kak man, you were then so happy. You were then so clever. You were then so prestigious. You were like the best child in the world. We called you Smiley. What are you saying? How is that even possible? Can't be. You were the best child. Because I had to be.
Ja, jy moes. En kyk daai verskriklike stereotype waar jy al jou moed bymekaar moes skraap en 'n klomp goeters moes oorkom in jou eie kop oor verantwoordelikheid, alles en so, en waarskynlik skaamte as jy kan raai.
Ja.
En toe jy dit sê, toe glo die mense, jy kom met die grootste taboe uit ooit en glo hulle jou nie.
And they don't believe me. They don't believe me. And that for me was a big heartbreak for me. It took me almost 10 more years to talk about it again.
Ja,
And then when I did it properly.
okay.
I made sure I was heard. Yeah,
Toe weet jy, hierdie keer gaan jou stem gehoor word.
yeah, absolutely. I could now be the adult for that little girl that she needed all this time. I could be that adult for her. And so I did. I became that. And it was the most beautiful relationship I have ever had in my life. I was going to fetch that little girl where they left her. And this fucking oulik man.
Ja.
He was a fucking gorgeous little girl, that child. Gregarious, bang vir niks. You know? And they made her quiet. They made her quiet. That she isolated and she became shy and she had no voice. And for a long time I had no voice. I couldn't do conflict. I would cry when people confronted me about things. If I had no approval, my world would shatter. Maar toe ek daai stem kry, jessie, toe brul ek.
Toe brul jy soos 'n leeu.
Toe brul ek. Up until today. And it is wonderful to be in a place where I don't need to overcompensate for those times and become hard. But I know who I am. And I know my worth. And I don't allow anyone to be stepped on. Not on my watch.
En dit is ook so interessant wat jy nou gereageer het op daai woorde wat op vrouens gerig was. Dat dit vir jou so sterk beïnvloed en jou so sterk slaan in die maag. Nou verstaan ek dit ook beter.
Yeah. Because in the same vein, like I lost my mom for 17 years when I left home. I ran away. I didn't leave. Ek het sakkies gepak en briewe geskryf. And I ran. I literally ran away. I hid from them. And I lost my mom in that time because she had a family to take care of. She was the caregiver to all the old people in our house. So it wasn't just my great-grandparents, but it was their siblings as well. My ma het na almal gekyk. I had a brother from my mom and my stepdad who is my true sibling. And it was hard to leave him behind. It was so hard to leave him behind. But I had to journey to understand that I can never fathom what that must have been like for my mom. Because the real truth, which I only uncovered much later in my life, was that she knew.
Die grootste taboe het jou ma van geweet.
Yeah. And I had to journey to forgive her. Not try to understand, to just forgive her. And I have. And we have the most amazing relationship. Like my best qualities, I get from this chick, man. She's fucking hardcore. She's a survivor. She's had to fight for everything in her life. And I will never condone and I will never even try or attempt to understand. Because I was her world. And I don't think that was easy for her. I was just too strong. Ek was net baie fucking sterk. So I made it look okay.
En baie alleen.
So alone.
Terwyl jou ma na almal gekyk het in haar 17 jaar wat jy weg het, moes jy na jouself leer kyk. Op 'n ander manier.
Completely. And I had barely any contact with them because I told them why I left home and they didn't believe me. And I had to make the decision. I have to cut. And then I lived. Then I lived and I loved. And I had relationships. And I got to know my body. And I fell in love. And it was healthy. It wasn't ugly. And I had the most beautiful partners in my life. They brought me back to a place where love was beautiful. It wasn't this ugly thing where sex was gorgeous. It wasn't this ugly dark thing, you know? And I'm very fortunate for that. Ek het baie goeie mense gekies.
Jy het mooi gekies.
Ek het baie mooi mense gekies om vir my deur hierdie lewe te accompany, I guess.
Ek dink dit is 'n ongelooflike groeiproses om iets wat so moeilik was wat gebeur het. Seksuele molestering vir so lank te vat en jou lyf weer te leer ken en nuut te leer ken. Want dit moes 'n baie moeilike ding vir jou gewees het. Om iets wat taboe dan geraak het, die rede vir in aanhalingstekens die rede vir al hierdie nonsens wat plaasgevind het.
Right? So there's this thing. En ek dink I think I got it from my voorouers. I think I got it from my oupa Grootjie, or my ouma Grootjie. I believe she was a witch. She healed people. She thought differently about life and the world, and she was the kindest human being I know. She had silver hair and blue eyes, and she was just magnificent. So I got it from one of them. I always knew that I was destined to do great things. I always knew that. And I knew that this was just a chapter. And the minute I get out of this, the world would be my oyster. My first boyfriend, my first big love of my life, Randall, he used to say to me, you know, shoelaces make you happy. And I go, yeah, because when you come from a place where you don't have a choice, you don't get to choose, and all of a sudden you are free. The things people take for granted, the things that are normal for most people it becomes delicious to you.
Dit is luks vir jou.
Wat sê jy?
Dit was luks vir jou. Soos 'n eksotiese ding om die gewone goeders.
Like normal stuff, like being able to go out. Being able to go and dance, not having to ask permission, just to be who you are. To be able to give someone a hug and not have your stepfather beat you up because of that. To just, die gees was nog altyd daar. And I knew. I remember I used to lie up was so stupid, ne? We lived close to the airport, Pontiel, and I would see these airplanes fly over my head. And the one day I said to my mom, ek gaan in die vlieg eendag. My ma sê, waar kom jy aan al die idees? Weet jy hoe diere sit? Ek sê, mami, ek gaan vliegen daai een dag na ander lande toe. Sy sê, "Ai my kind, jy is nie van hier nie."
Daardie resilience in jou was van vroeg af daar en jy het dit gehou. En dit is nogal uitsonderlik en inspirerend. Dis baie mooi om dit te sien, Kim. En jou kwesbaarheid maak van jou 'n reus, né? Al is jy klein. 'n Reus. So Kim, in terme van jou werk. Wat is die funksie van vloek vir jou?
In terme van werk, okay, so bygesê, ek kry nie baie die geleentheid om dit te doen in my werk nie. En ek dink nog altyd mense misverstaan eintlik wat vloek is. Vir my is dit heavy bevrydend when I get to swear.
Wat is vir jou bevrydend?
Ek gaan vir jou sê wat is bevrydend. I take people out of their comfort zones.
Goed, doen jy dit as prins?
Yes, I do.
Ag, gee vir my 'n ou voorbeeld.
I do it. So when people meet me, byvoorbeeld, nee, kom ons sê nou iemand wat nou werk van my gesien het. Now I get typecast quite a lot.
Is dit?
Ek is altyd so this is what I think happens in a boardroom with producers. Ja, hierdie is 'n heavy dramatic abusive storyline. Oh man, dis baie kak en drama. Ag, hoe can we get to play the spot? Oh ja, Kim Cloete, ja, sy doen kak en drama baie lekker. So I'm always that girl.
Rol jou oë.
Yeah, I'm always that girl. I just want to do romantic comedies. So what happens then is mense vereenselwig my met my karakters. My characters are always very endearing.
Ja.
En dan is ek as prins. When I meet people. Ooh, ek love so 'n stukkie fok of 'n kak ingooi. I never go too heavy, too soon. Maar dan sal ons nou lekker chat. Oh, fokker. Oh,
Jy is te sweet om so te vloek.
ek is mos nou te innocent en te sweet om so te vloek. But then people realize that they still walk away loving me more because I actually didn't really offend them by using a swear word. And so what is the actual offense with using a swear word? It's intention. That's all it is. Ek en my man, ons sal heavy stry, but I will never direct a swear word, not even just him, any person for that matter. En ek is lief vir vloek, nee? Ek is 'n vuilbek. Ek is lief vir 'n vloekwoord. But I will never direct a swear word at a person, like jou poes of fok jou nie. It'll always be as part of telling a story.
Kim, ek het 'n gevoel dat jy weet baie goed hoe voel dit om in 'n hoek gedruk te word waar jy nie krag of power het nie, waar jy hulpeloos voel en waar mense vir jou sê wat om te doen en jy het eers 'n voorneme gemaak, ek gaan dit nooit aan enigiemand anders doen nie.
No, exactly that. Because I lost my voice for so long. Because of that reason. And because I had to find it the hard way. But what I am very happy about is that I didn't go the other way. Ek het nie lelik geword nie. I could have very easily.
Ja,
You
absoluut.
know, in retaliation to life, for instance, moes. But I didn't. Because it's that thing again. There's that thing I always had. It's like a little voice where I know I am destined to do great things. And for me, great things goes hand in hand with kindness.
Your religion is kindness.
Exactly.
Is dit?
It's love. It's kindness. That's my religion. That's what I live by. Moenie 'n kak mens wees nie, man. Why do you want to be a kak person?
So, dit is so nice. Terug te kom na die rolle wat jy speel. daar's twee wat uitstaan vir jou waar jy nogal gevloek het, want jy's gestereotipeer as iemand wat nou nie baie vlieg en wie se sweet is en baie swaar kry op die kassie of op die verhoog, maar daai ander twee is nogal sterk.
So the first one was the feature film I did with Kevin Smith a couple of years ago called Crime.
Ja.
En daar was I was hijacked
Ja.
and I was raped.
Nogal naby aan die siel, né?
Listen, daai rape scene het ons geskiet op 'n oop veld in Beiersnodie from 10 at night until 5 in the morning. Single cam, 7 takes.
Ja.
Nudity,
Ja.
physical, rough.
Hoe dit vir jou gewerk in terme van die taboes, die nudity, die trauma wat obviously hier soos 'n dik lyn deurloop en dan vloek wat gebeur het en daai tipe goed.
So yes, the big taboo is obviously nudity, right? Because ons almal het mos nou 'n storie met nudity. I said yes because this was an important story to tell.
Ja.
And when a woman gets raped, they strip you from your clothes.
Yes.
This is what happens. So I said yes to that. To the point where I would forget that I don't have clothes on after a take. And I would have the wardrobe misters run to me and go, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'm like, what?
En loop jy kaal gat rond.
Yeah. But she goes, I'm like, what? Fuck. And she'll wrap me in something. But it was important for me to tell that story specifically because of our numbers, how women are victimized and abused, and our rape. I will show my body if it helps someone.
Jy sê vir my, jy was bereid om een van die groot taboes te vat na die skerm toe en jou middelvinger op te tel en te sê nie meer nie.
Yeah,
En jy raak emosioneel wanneer jy dit
exactly. I am a little emotional about that because it was very traumatic to do that. And I remember there was a lady on set. She had been doing continuity for 30 years. Sy was een van die girls op set, die vrouens op set. Sy het nie meer lus gehad nie, man. She needed to now retire and go plant herbs of blomme of 'n ding. She brought me flowers to set the next day. And she said to me, "I've never seen a more authentic performance than that. Thank you on behalf of all women for that." And then I go, who the fuck needs a safter? When you have someone like that come to you and go, "Dankie as 'n vrou." Dankie. I don't know her story. She probably has one.
Ja. En jy het iets gedoen daar wat jy wou doen. Jy praat van intensie, dat jy 'n groot taboe kan gebruik of 'n vloekwoord of iets en jy spesifiek 'n taboe en 'n trauma van jou en dit gebruik met intensie en dan maak dit vir jou sin.
Yeah. And so here's the beautiful thing also. You know, I understand my story. I get it. I don't condone it, but I get my story. I'm here to heal. I know that. And my medium is storytelling. And so I've had to live it in order to fix it. En dis fucking moeilik om te aanvaar. Like I nearly died not wanting to accept it. But it is, and dis 'n roeping. I don't take what I do lightly. I really don't. Dis vir my heavy intense. Like I immerse myself in these stories, and there's a reason why they keep casting me to tell the kak en drama.
Want jy doen dit so goed. En jy sien dit as 'n roeping.
I do.
Ja, en jy kan iemand anders aanraak op een of ander manier en dis vir jou genoeg, baie beter as 'n safta, sê sy. Jy wil nou 'n safta hê.
But it's when your crew gets up and clap and applauds you. Like your crew gets up and clap for you. I go, okay, cool. So I've done something right here.
Ietsie.
Dankie. Thank you. this moment I will treasure for my entire life.
Dit is my so interessant van jou, want jy sê dit nie op 'n narcissistiek manier nie.
No.
Dit is nie dat jy aandag soek hierdeer nie, jy ervaar dit met 'n klomp dankbaarheid en intensie dan in dit wat jy doen.
Ja.
Beteken dit dan, wanneer jy dan sy vloek in 'n rol, moet dit intensie hê, dit moet betekenis hê, dit moet sin maak.
Completely. I don't believe that. So here's the thing. Because it's okay for me, doesn't mean it's okay for someone else. And I have respect for that. So when I do push a button, I read the room very well
Ja.
before I do that. I never do it to make anyone upset. If anything, let you question yourself about why you're getting awkward. But it's never about ugly. It's never about being vulgar for the sake of being vulgar.
Ja.
It's never that. For me is, as die woordjie wat ek nou gebruik het vir jou bietjie, so laat sit dit, then, but you still listen to what I say after that, then it's really not so bad, is it?
Jy het 'n ding met jou stem, Kim. Vandat jy jou stem gekry het, gebruik jy vir haar. Ek sien jou.
I do.
Op allerlei maniere.
Ja.
In jou werk en sosiaal klink dit vir my ook.
Yeah, I do. When I have to, and I know I have a responsibility here, you know, and I hold myself accountable for everything I do, every decision I make. And daar's mense wie bitter lief is vir my en vir wie ek bitter lief is. And everything I do affects them. I have children in my family who are growing up. I want nothing more than to be present for them, you know. So if I can show my little Leah and my little Duncan how to be a kind, accountable, great human being, fuck, yes, I'm going to do that. I don't care who I piss off then. As jy dan afgepis is, dan you dealing with yourself.
Jy sal kinders beskerm teen alle koste op daai vlak. Ek wil later dalk 'n bietjie meer met jou gesels oor of ons kinders moet beskerm teen vloek en taboes, want dit is vir my baie interessant.
Ja.
Maar net so voor die advertensiebreek wil ek vir jou nog 3 woorde gee.
Oh, jette, okay.
So jou 4, 5 en 6 is nou kom nou en dan geef my taboewaardes asseblief.
Okay.
Die eerste een is vloermoer, dik gat en gatlekkery.
Jeez. Okay, dik gat is just disgusting. That's 10. Vloermoer. Wat is 'n vloermoer?
'n Tantrum.
'n Vloermoer?
Ja.
Hoe is 'n lekker ding daai? Ooh, nee, ek het tyd vir 'n tantrum any day. Everyone deserves time for a tantrum. That's low for me. Vloermoer is fine. Gatlekkery. In terms of what other people would think, probably high as well. Probably 8, I would say. Yeah. Maybe I'm talking for myself now.
So waarom 8? Vir
For my, persoonlik, it's just a lack of self. When there's gatlekkery. Like, I lose interest immediately.
Dit gaan vir jou oor valsheid.
Yeah,
Jy wil dinge eg hê.
yeah, it has to be authentic.
Ja, en dan praat jy van die taboes in jou lewe, soos valsheid. En na die advertensiebreek wil ek graag 'n bietjie met jou daaroor ook gesels oor die taboes in jou lewe, wat jy sal doen en wat jy nie sal doen nie, vir sekere goed waarna jy glo en so aan.
Ja.
So ons praat net hierna weer.
My naam is Cloete en vandag chat ek met Elmarie oor taboes. Die goed wat ons nie van nou nie, maar eintlik van nou.
Jy het voorheen verwys na vrouens en jy het in 'n onderhoud met Elmarie Zietsman die volgende gesê. En dit is dat vroue oor die algemeen baie beter oor die weg kom sonder mans.
Ja,
Ja.
ek het.
Ja, jy het dit gesê. En ek is seker jy het 'n groot intensie daarmee gehad. Dit was my interessant want ek weet jy staan op vir vrouens, vir vroueregte en ek is nou baie meer bewus daarvan selfs hoe jy dit doen. om dit terug te bring na mans en vrouens toe en die verskille en jy's baie opset en so nie upset nie, onset opstel na goeie Afrikaans. Is daar 'n verskil in vroue karakters en mans karakters in terme van vloek op kamera en teater op verhoog?
100%.
Vertel my asseblief.
100%. Ek was, when I started, toe ek hier begin het, I'm going to give you an example, presenting, nee? Nou, ek is van die Kaap. My Afrikaans is 'n lekker Afrikaans. En dit het my lank gevat om te besef hoe lekker dit eintlik is. The male presenter would always be allowed to speak in a Cape-colored accent, but not the female. I was always told, jy praat te plat, jy moet standaard praat, jy moet so praat. Vir jare, dan gaan ek huis toe, dan vra my mense, maar hoe praat jy dan nou so op die
Is jy vreemd?
Hoe praat jy dan nou so? You know? And it took me a very long time, so there's definitely a disparity. And with that, having said that, I think there's also, it's almost more okay for men to go there than it is for female. And I go, maar hoekom? But why? Because when they call cut, it's the women who have the dirty mouths on a set.
Dis interessant, né?
Yeah. It's the women who have the dirty mouths. What's up, motherfuckers? Thank you guys. See you tomorrow. It's that. And it's love. It's still swearing though. One of my favorite human beings, and she's passed away now, was Elise K. Wood. Ja, dat hy aan die kon vloek. Fuck, en ek was onmiddellik gemaklik om die vrou, toe ek haar die eerste keer ontmoet het.
Want jy het haar egtheid ervaar.
Completely. And I think it's that. I think that's what it is. I honestly think it's that need for authenticity. Moenie aansit om my nie. Even though we are in the business of storytelling, you know, and I have friends. This is how they'll answer the phone when I call them. What's up, Nair? It's 100% love.
Absolutely.
100% love. Again, intention. So daar is definitely a disparity in terms of male, female.
Ek wil in die rede val hier. Beteken dit dan dat vroulike karakters meer gestereotipeer word en nie werklik gewys word soos wat ons werklik praat by die huis en by ons vriende nie?
100%. Not just with how we speak, with how we look, with how we portray ourselves. I'm so over it. I can't tell you. I'm so over it. It's like, ek moet goed sê soos, byvoorbeeld op hierdie een spesifieke stel, vir 'n vrou wat al amper 50 is, which I don't have an issue with saying, ek is al amper 50, maar ek is ook nou net 40, okay? Let's start
Almal
there.
op pad 50 toe, né?
Right? Is ek nie meer 'n aanwins vir 'n besigheid nie. Now my thing is this. This is a writer thinking this about females.
Was 'n man skrywer?
Is 'n man skrywer. En nou moet ek op stel kom en nou moet ek die kak praat. I'm sorry, I'm not going to do it. Because I still have a responsibility. And I'm sorry, my responsibility starts with females. Because I am one. I am one. I've been told I'm too fat, I'm too big, I'm too this, I'm too that. To the point where I started questioning my own person. And that was not even from a male. That was also, it's also women policing other women. It's also other women enforcing this. Jy moet so lyk, jy moet. I go, okay, so here's the deal. Ek lyk nie so nie, ek praat nie so nie, ek klink nie so nie. So does someone like me have the right to be portrayed on television?
Das sy. Nou vat jy 'n klomp taboes aan in hierdie oomblik, want jy sê ek is gatvol vir seksisme.
Ageism, chauvinism, hey? Isms. Listen. Oh, and then, let us now not even. I feel that as much as we are pushing boundaries in television, a lot of our daily bread, our daily food, our daily consumption of television is becoming more conservative.
Is dit nie interessant nie? Jy sê daar's meer taboes en jy praat van hierdie vreeslike sensuur en sensitiwiteit van mense. Is dit wat jy sê?
Exactly that. Exactly that. I'll give you an example. About two years ago. Anyways. Nou het ek nou 'n besluit gemaak dat if I am playing a character and my character is from Cape Town en sy praat Afrikaans, dan gaan sy Kaapse Afrikaans praat.
Dit maak sin vir my,
Right?
actually, ja.
Okay.
Baie.
So we do that. We get attacked on social media. We get attacked on social media. Kan julle nou asseblief ophou met julle juis? Dit word nou baie vervelig.
Soos J en J.
J, ja. Dit word nou baie vervelig. En julle praat asof julle nie geleerdheid het nie.
Regtig. So die stereotypering is as jy J en J sê, is jy dom.
Jy's dom. Jy's mos 'n dom kallet. You're a coon. That's what you are. And I was very deliberate in playing my character authentically. And whenever we had very big emotional scenes, that is where she would go. Because not every colored person who does a Cape Town accent is busy making a joke. Can we fucking get over that? Can we just start there? Fucking hell. Fucking 2018. And then I took them on. And I sat with historians and I sat with linguists. I wrote a play for the castle, which spanned over 500 years. I know the origin of Afrikaans. Ek ken my taal. Ek weet waar dit vandaan kom. Ek weet die oorsprong. And so I wrote a whole little thesis there. In baie mooi Afrikaans, sodat almal my baie mooi in regte Afrikaans, sodat almal my baie mooi verstaan. And I said, this is racism. This is not even criticism. I don't stand for this kak. Hulle het my, die meisiekind wat my dogter gespeel het, she took her braids out and she had this gorgeous little afro. Kak oulik, with kammetjies, whatever. They attacked her.
Oor haar hare.
Dis kroes en dis onnet. Doen asseblief iets aan die kind se kop. Listen. I was like, do you understand how long it has taken black women to embrace our natural beauty? And now you want to attack this 19-year-old?
Is asof dit terug is in 1855 of elders.
And I'm like, what's happening here, guys? And why are you okaying this?
Yeah.
Why is this okay? Why is this conversation okay? Why are these people allowed the platform to say this on, even moes? So, all those little taboos.
Daar's 'n klomp goeders wat vir jou taboe is, en ek hoor hulle, en jy het 'n lys van hulle. Dink jy daar's nog goed wat behoort taboes te wees vir ander mense?
Yes.
Soos wat?
Prejudice. Like what my ouma groot het vir my geleer, moenie oordeel nie. Every day it was her mantra, moenie oordeel nie. The older you get, the more you understand that I don't know what a day in your shoes look like. Why the fuck are you judging me? What gives you the right to judge me? And you feel self-righteous. You feel you justified doing
Jy mag
that.
dit doen.
Jy mag dit doen.
Jy sê iets baie lekkers vir iemand wat nie 'n stem gehad, nou 'n stem het. Dat party mense hulle stemme heeltemal te veel gebruik en te maklik. Dis wat
Ja.
jy vir my sê. En dit maak jou kwaad.
It makes me very angry. It makes me angry when people are careless with other people, when they are reckless with other people. It makes me so angry. Dit maak my, dan, listen.
Jy is bekend daarvoor dat jy opstaan vir goed, teen goed en opstaan vir dit waarna jy glo. Is daar enigiets wat jy nie sal doen nie? Jy was al kaal gewees, die ander taboe, jy vloek en so, is daar enigiets wat jy nie sal doen nie?
I think as an actress, as much as I love my craft, and as necessary as it is, I think it would be really hard for me to play a pedophile. I don't think I would be able to say yes to that. I would struggle with that one. As 'n mens, is daar enigiets wat ek nie sal doen nie?
Ja, veral as jy vir iets opstaan en so, want jy gebruik jou stem.
Yeah. I think the thing I feel strongest about, what I absolutely, unequivocally won't do, is deny what I believe in. I don't believe in what most people believe in. I cannot deny my order of things because it's who I am.
Jy praat van egtheid.
Ja.
Hier kom ons terug in 'n volsirkel dat jy jou egtheid nie sal prysgee, maar met ander woorde, in egtheid sal jy eintlik enigiets doen. Dis wat jy vir my sê, jy sal vloek, jy sal skel, jy sal whatever. Jy sal iemand aanvat net daar. Niks taboes daar nie. Lekker lag jy nou. Jy onthou nou iets, ek kan dit sommer sien.
But it's absolutely 100% true.
So Kim, om net terug te verwys na die kinders in jou lewe, dis nie jou biologiese kinders nie, maar jy voel verantwoordelik oor hulle. Geen vir my 'n paar gedagtes daaroor, dink jy hulle moet beskerm word, en kinders in die algemeen, teen vloek en taboes?
No, I don't. I don't believe keeping kids away from life makes them strong. I believe showing them what life is, being there when they see it or hear it, makes them strong. So no, I don't believe in that. I also believe that children have an inherent understanding of what is right and what isn't, and let them be their own guides for that. We are not here to impart our ideas onto them. We are only here the bows from which the arrow shoots from. That's all we are here for. And so they need to be who they are. And so I don't believe in protecting children from any of that. Let them decide.
Per implikasie hoor ek 'n bietjie ook iets van, as mens kinders te veel beskerm, kan dit ook lei na geheime toe. Want as jy nie met 'n kind openlik is oor goed nie, dan kan hulle met jou praat oor die goeders as dit hulle begin praat, dan kan hulle met jou praat as dit hulle begin plan nie.
Yeah. So, and so here's the thing, in dis hoe my familie, my broers, 2 kinders groot. So we raise kids as a tribe. Ons almal maak die kinders groot. En Leah, wat 7 is, sê vir Duncan, wat 4 is, not so long ago, Duncan, if you don't stop, I'm gonna moor you. And my mom goes, what? What did you just say? Why? What did you just say? She goes, and immediately, it's not even about the word moer. It's about the action. It's about wanting to hit her brother. That's really what it's about. Maar onmiddellik maak my ma bewus, wat het jy nou net gesê? Let's quickly just recap here this moment. And she goes, I'm sorry, Ma. My mom goes, what was wrong with what you said? She says, I said I was going to moor him. My mom says, okay, now how do we fix this? I have to say sorry. So she goes to her brother and she says, Duncan, I'm sorry, I won't moor you.
Sy het dit mooi verstaan. Nie oor die moer nie, dis oor die intensie van die vuishou wat sou
What's
volg.
the intention
That's
behind
right.
what you're saying?
Jo, Dis so interessant om met jou te praat, Kim. En ek is seker ek en jy sal vir dae nog kan praat hieroor. Maar ek wil eintlik nou weet so ter afsluiting, wat is in die pot vir jou? Want jy is besig met so baie goed. Wat doen jy?
Sure, Chomi. So, ek het nou net my eie talkshow gedoen,
Ja.
wat ek nou al vir jare aan droom. And I finally found the right team of people. En so ek het nou 8 couples oor 2 dae geïnterview. So it's a bietjie Oprah meets Zach Galifianakis. There's a lot of drama. Ek hou mos van 'n bietjie comedy, ek is stout vir comedy. So that happened, but it's really highlighting impactful people, especially in this time, because we need inspiring stories now. Ons het dit nodig.
Ja.
En dan I'm producing my first feature film next year
Boom!
that I've been writing on for 4 years.
So jy het geskryf en jy produce nou?
Yes.
Dit is fantastiese nuus, Kim.
Ja,
Baie geluk.
thank
Is jy
you.
opgewonde?
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. It's a dream come true. So, ja. In 'n tyd.
Geniet dit verskriklik.
Ja, dis tyd.
Luister Kim, baie sterk met al hierdie goed. En 'n groot dankie van my kant af en ek dink sommer van die luisteraars se kant af ook vir hierdie ontsettende eerlike onderhoud. Hoe jy dis so lekker om te luister hoe jy goeders integreer en hoe jy taboes in jou lewe gevat het en trauma en groei daaruit. Jy het die betekenis verander sonder om te ontken. Baie dankie daarvoor.
Ag, groot plesier. Dankie.
Dankie dat jy geluister het na nog 'n episode van Wat 'n vloekwoord. As jy op Facebook is, sluit aan by die vloekgroep by facebook.com/groups/vloek. Ek is Elmarie Claassens en onthou, as jy vloek, vloek met integriteit en intensie.
Gekruide taal.